we starting?
Yeah. Oh, you better believe it. Hello, everybody. It's Kanan and Anna here, Anna and Kanan, with our new podcast. What's the name?
The Sippin Truth.
Damn straight. And we are here in an undisclosed location here in Los Angeles. Currently looking at my car, and there's... Describe.
Yeah, I'll describe it.
Describe it.
There is tons of bird poop all over the car. It is horrible.
Just to preface, like where I park, because at my house we have street parking. On the Thursday side, which I always call the Thursday side because, you know, with street cleaning you have to move it. There's this one particular spot where the birds just love to stand and grace the cars. What if birds are doing it out of like to show that they love us, but in a weird way? Like there's no way to communicate it, so they have to. They love me.
I think it's more out of spite.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
They did a number on it.
Yeah. Quite a number.
I think I'm gonna take a picture of it and then I'll post it so everyone can get a clear image.
We don't need to do that, but we will out of necessity. Waiting for Anna to snap the picture. Perfect. All right, so episode 2 at this point. I'm not even gonna make. Last time I was like this whole thing. Episode 5 or 6. It's episode 2. We've heard a lot of feedback from all of you, and really appreciate it. It's gonna really help us this time around, I think.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions that came in.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. The one that I think I appreciate the most is the welcome from Google.
The welcome from Google?
Yeah, the one where you set it up with, and it just welcomed us to the email.
Oh, right. Yes, those questions. Yeah, for those of you who don't remember, we have an email and a social. So if you're looking to follow us, you can go to @theSippinTruth. There's no G in it. It's not sipping. It's sippin'. You know, like taking a sip. And then thesippintruth@gmail.com. Give it an email sometime. See what happens. I dare you. So we're going to talk about something. Well, I figured we could recap, you know, what's been good in our lives recently. Probably starting with you, because Anna has all of this information that she's been holding on to. And I'm really excited because she went to Tulum.
I did.
For how long?
I was there for a week, from a Friday to a Friday.
Oh my God. What? And I bet it was a very like peaceful time. I bet you got to like relax, got to like go to the beach, maybe take in the rays, eat some chips, and then, you know, hang out with some friends.
None of that happened.
Okay. Well, you know, to each their own, I suppose. All right, so Anna apparently has written down a lot of things that have happened in notes. The people who were a part of this journey, I have not heard a single thing about this. This is all going to be real, raw reactions here. I met with Anna yesterday to go over what we're talking about today. It's just like a steel trap, this one. So where do you want to begin, Anna? This podcast, I'm just the observer. Just like the people listening in.
Gotcha. Well, let me just say that
I dropped you off.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. What a good friend. He came. I think you probably had to wake up at 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah, not an easy feat for me, but it's doable.
Well, I appreciated it. We talked about possibly having a podcast or talking on the way to the airport, but you know, you made a good point. Sometimes there's just conversations for us, and you know, then there's conversations for the rest of the world. Yeah.
Well, I had a sore throat also. So, but that leads into what happened next with me. But we'll start with you. Yeah. So, drop you off.
Yeah. Let me first preface by, obviously, last time we talked, it was my birthday.
Right. Yeah.
We had a great birthday dinner.
Oh.
It was fantastic over at Bakari in Silver Lake. It was beautiful. All my good friends came out. This trip came up last minute. One of the really good friends from back home was just like, hey, I got this ticket for this festival in Tulum, Afterlife. It's like a music festival, house music. You should come out. You've never been to Tulum. I think it'd be a good time. I said, sure, why not? I had no idea. This festival also started at 10 p.m. and went till 10 a.m.
Oh my God. 10 p.m. to 10 a.m.?
Yeah. Wild.
Oh
Why
my
do they do
God.
those things?
Why not?
Why not start a festival like at, I don't know, 8 and go until maybe like 2 or 3 in the morning?
That sounds reasonable. That sounds
Right?
appropriately timed. Oh, and then what happened?
So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. I got my ticket. It was actually a cheap ticket. Packed.
How much was the ticket?
I think I paid maybe close to 400 round trip.
Round trip. That's
Yeah,
not bad.
that's not bad,
Wow,
right?
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it through United, so earned those mile points.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm going to be honest, the whole time I was really anxious and nervous because, well, one, I haven't seen some of these friends for a while, and I'm going to tell you, these are not your ordinary friends.
Right.
These people go hard.
Okay. And like party goers,
Yes.
curmudgeons, ragamuffins,
Party goers.
miscreants.
These are friends that I usually go to Coachella with, that I've partied with for New Year's parties. It's wild. So
Yeah.
I was mentally preparing myself and trying not to get psyched out about this trip. But I also wanted to enjoy the fact that I'll be somewhere else, and hopefully, like you said, laying on the beach, relaxing, having a pina colada in my hand.
Yeah, yeah. Like maybe the friends that you knew, and maybe their energy levels have gone down over that time
Right.
too. Like as you age, maybe not saying that they have to age, but maybe that they're more mellowed out.
Right. And it was a mixture of people. It was some old friends. I met some new friends. But anyways, yes, you were a blessing. You dropped me off at the airport. It was about a 5-hour trip there.
Not to the airport, to
No,
Tulum.
to Tulum. Sorry, yes, to Tulum. And let me tell you, when we left, it was freezing here. So I had on multiple layers of jackets. And as soon
right.
as I got there and I stepped out from the airport, that humidity hit me so hard.
Like a heat wave.
It was just, okay, time to undress. But because these friends and party animals of ours were out partying, they forgot to pick us up from the airport.
Oh no! What are you saying? Us? Who's us?
I was meeting a friend there.
Oh,
Yes.
at the airport. Oh,
We
okay. I think I
flew-
saw your Instagram.
Yeah,
You
we
were
flew in
looking
at the
at
same
airport.
time so that we can essentially get picked up together and go to the Airbnb, so it was easier for us.
Okay.
And also, I've never traveled to another country without somebody. There's a little bit of a language barrier. I don't speak Spanish, even though I am Mexican and should probably know it. So I was frightened that they were going to ask me questions when I got there, and then we're going to let me over. And, I just kept my head to the ground, and it was just like, hopefully I'll get there in one piece. But yeah, we met, and we couldn't get a hold of the person that was supposed to pick us up. And
They
it
just-
was,
You kept calling them, or did you-
yes.
Okay.
And keep in mind, our service is very limited there. It's like Telcel, which is,
Everybody knows about Telcel, of course. It's like the leading carrier out here in the United States. The plane that's hovering over us right now is using that.
yeah, probably. It's 3G. We had to use WhatsApp. Usually anytime I travel internationally, we have to use WhatsApp, but
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going to happen. So we were at the airport for another 4 hours
Oh God.
until someone finally picked us up.
Well, what time? So it was a 5-hour flight, but there's a time zone difference, right?
Yeah.
So you ended up getting there probably at like 10?
No, I think I left close to 9, and I think I got there a little after 4 their time.
Wait, you got to the airport at like 5? We got there at like what? 6
Yes.
something in the morning?
Correct.
Your flight left at 9?
Yes.
So you were already at the airport for a couple hours.
Yes, I was basically at an airport for like 10 or 12 hours just in that day.
Well, luckily you had Fiji water to drink.
Oh my gosh.
My
Oh,
gosh.
they didn't even let me take it over. I had a fresh bottle that you gave me, and I'm like, okay, well, I have water I can take on the plane. And literally, right when I was going through security, they were just like, no. I'm like, it's closed. It's not open. They're like, it doesn't matter.
Like
Either
a
drink.
tiny bottle. It's 500 milliliters.
They're like,
Water.
drink it or throw it away. I'm like, well, I'm just going to throw it away.
You didn't chug it? That's fine.
No.
All right, that's the least important thing here. All right, so you're waiting a couple hours at the airport, and then you land. You have to wait. So you got there at 4 p.m. You had to wait. What time did they pick you up?
I don't think we got picked up until maybe close to 9.
Oh my God.
And keep in mind, guys, from Cancun Airport where we landed, it's still another 2 hours to drive to Tulum.
Right.
So, I mean, we were just hanging out, having a few drinks, went in Tulum, start having some drinks. But then we finally got a hold of them. They were stuck in traffic, trying to come and get us. And when they finally got us, all this drama just unloaded in the car. Now,
Okay.
but I want to save this drama for the end because it's really good stuff.
Okay. Okay.
But they were out a day before us, so they've already been partying it up
Oh,
the night
right.
before. They partied up before they came to get us.
Is there a specific reason why they're was it like a spring break kind of situation, or was it just like they're just partying the party?
Yeah.
Huh.
In Tulum at this time is, I guess, their winter, which isn't really a winter. I mean, you had lows of like 80s, high 70s maybe. I mean, it's
Sure.
summer weather here for the most part. But everyone's traveling there. Everyone's on holiday over there right now. And this festival is going on nonstop this whole time we're there.
Oh yeah.
With
yeah,
different performers performing. So, I mean, the city was popping.
Okay. Just lively. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all that happened, huh? That's it. Huh? That was your Tulum trip.
Yeah, I wish. Anyway, and I'm thinking we finally get picked up, right? We're going to go home to our Airbnb. We're going to relax, maybe go to bed and then wake up and then start fresh for a new day, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Maybe sleep in a little bit
Right.
because you had a long morning.
As soon as they got picked up and they let us know what was going down with all this drama that was happening, they were just like, all right, we're going to drop you off. You guys get ready, and then we're going to go ahead and hit the Strip, which is the little town that they have there.
Oh my god.
I was like, got
Excuse
it.
me. Already got it.
You know, I was like, I kept telling myself, just keep up. You'll be all right. Just keep up. I mean, it was like maybe 10:30 when we finally got dropped off to our Airbnb. I'll post up pictures. I think you saw the pictures of our Airbnb. It was such a beautiful place
No, I
we
don't
stayed
think
at.
I did. No.
Oh, what?
I don't think I did. I was sick.
Oof. We can get into that
Yeah, we'll
later.
get into that later.
Yeah, but I did post it on my social. It was a really beautiful spot we ended up staying at. I mean, they had.
Oh
Like,
my
this is
god,
going into it.
stairs.
You can go to the next one.
Oh,
That
a
was a
pool. Is that
pool.
pool?
Yeah, and I think the next one's a video that you can play.
Whoa, a bed.
So dumb.
With the with the rear.
But it was really cool. That was
one of
my-
those showers. I love those
Dude,
types
and
of
then
showers.
I didn't even know outside my bedroom, you open it and there's a bathtub outside. So if you wanted to bask, But yeah, I mean, that night we went out. I met some new additions to the friends, and they're a little bit younger than us.
Do they have like a name, like a group name?
I'm not going to disclose that information.
Oh, they actually have a name? Oh my god. The cool crew. We'll just call
Yeah,
it the cool
it's the
crew.
cool crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun. But before we started, let me just say, before we even went partying, I was freaking starving. I hadn't
Right.
eaten all day. They didn't serve any food on the plane.
What?
So I was like,
United. Come on.
come on.
Oh, this podcast is sponsored by United Airlines. Get your tickets today.
Yes.
United Airlines.
Hail, fellow traveler. Remember the time we sailed the skies with United Airlines?
Oi, those metal birds are faster than a berserker on caffeine.
No more cramped longships. We had legroom for days. And no sea monsters. Ha!
And the in-flight feast. Better than the pub grub here, I tell ya.
Soaring through the skies is the only way to travel. No more arguing over who's rowing.
Book your adventure at united.com. Fast, funny, and brawls are strictly optional.
I said we got to stop at a taco truck. Like,
Right.
I don't eat meat, but I mean, they do have really good cheese tacos. I know how horrible is that, right? When in Mexico.
Yeah.
I'm telling you though, we finally found this spot. It was so good.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe I was just really, really hungry,
That could also do it, too. That can also affect.
but it was so good. The hot sauce, the salsas that were on it, the cheese,
Ooh,
the handmade tortillas that they use. Oh my God.
nothing like it.
It was great.
You could try, but
This was like the first spot that we had went to, and it's just a cheese taco, had some avocado in it.
that looks really good.
Yo. Like,
Despite the vegetables in there, yeah.
oh,
I bet it was really
yeah.
good.
The other one, it was a nopales one, a vegetarian one, which is cactus. So good.
That looked so you ate,
I ate.
you went out.
We went out, had a few
the strip?
drinks, got caught up with everybody.
Yeah.
So I think we finally ended the night around 4 a.m.
Oh, okay. So you're almost up for a full 24 hours
Yes.
at that point.
I don't even know when they stopped serving alcohol there. It was wild. Yeah, they just kept coming. And I was just like, okay. And I knew I was going to sleep real good that night.
Oh, yeah.
And I did.
How long did you sleep in?
Honestly, because of the time difference, it didn't seem like very much. Because I think really we were up maybe like 8 or 9 the next day to start doing some stuff.
Oh, like, okay.
Which means it was probably only, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. here? Oh, my God.
That's nuts.
But when in Tulum, what are you going to do?
Yeah, just suck it up and keep trudging on till the end.
Gosh. So
Did you get any sleep throughout this? Did you?
I think the max, no, I maybe got a good 5 hours in somewhere.
Okay.
5-6 hours. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's like a regular day here in LA. I will say, they told me, and something I'm definitely afraid of anywhere out of the country I go, is mosquitoes.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, they're tolerable here. I think the mosquitoes aren't too bad here.
I hate them.
Yeah. Oh, they're the worst. They suck. Literally. Quite literally.
I don't like it. When I was in Thailand, I was scared because I've heard stories. So I was.
What kind of stories? What are you talking about?
Just mosquitoes bite other people. They carry
diseases. Yeah.
It's just.
You're like people like just dying or something.
Yeah, like I don't, or the bites just like growing into something else.
Oh God.
Yeah, no.
I didn't even think about that.
So we went out, and again, I'm sure you know this, Tulum is straight jungle. There's anything and everything probably living out there.
Right.
Jaguars are out there, which I wasn't aware of until I was there.
Mosquitoes.
Their ants are
Hippos?
huge. No.
Oh.
Maybe alligators.
Oh, maybe.
But one night, we went out to a resort. We hit up a pool party, essentially.
Yeah.
That kind of overlooked the beach. It was real nice. And I was waiting in line to use the restroom, and I had looked down, and there was a bug. It was a mosquito. It was on my hand.
Oh,
you could
no.
still kind of see the little bite of where it was at.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Let me tell you, and let me show you a picture of what this morphed into. Because I truly had turned to my friend, and I was like, if this gets any worse, you're going to have to take me to urgent care.
Oh my God.
And he's just like, it...
Oh my God. This looks like the size of like a baseball almost. Like the welt
It
on
was
there.
growing.
No.
And I had one ended up here, and then I had 2 other ones that were on my arm.
No.
I was scared.
I would be too. Oh my God.
Went down a deep, dark hole of like mosquito bites. And it was I went like malaria bites. And I was really scared for my life.
No, I do not blame you. Oh my God.
And everybody kept saying, you need to relax. It's going to be okay. It's not, it's your body off the mucus of what the mosquito is doing. So
Sure, but still scary when it's taking up that much surface area.
I was concerned that I was going to wake up one day and my whole hand was going to be swollen.
Oh my God.
Or what if it was immobile?
Right.
That was insane.
Yeah, oh, wow. So then that was there the whole week, more or less?
What do you mean?
Oh
No, that lasted for like 3 days.
Oh.
But after that, I did take bug spray with me. I was lathering up like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
Those were probably the only ones that I got, probably because I wasn't, applying when I first got there. But after that, I was scared enough to know that, we're going to make sure we have bug spray on every day.
Yeah, every day. And the one thing that I did catch yesterday when you were talking to me, apparently, like you had put bug spray on, but then they told you to...
Oh, yeah.
To take off the bug spray at this one place?
Yeah. So they have really nice, there was a lagoon we went to one day, and there's also some spots called the cenotes. You can look it up, but essentially it's just like a water hole for the most part. But there's all like pure water.
Oh.
So they don't want chemicals and whatnot in the water. They don't want bug spray or suntan lotion or any of that. And the water's like really blue. But yeah, when we signed up to go to the lagoon, they have like a shower at the corner, and they basically said, you guys need to go take a shower and scrub off anything that you have on.
Wow.
Which meant, so when we finally got into the lagoon, the sun was just beating on us.
Right, yeah. Getting really burnt, I imagine.
Yeah.
Did you get sunburned
I was
at
peeling
all?
on my forehead. My shoulders were really bad.
Oh.
But it's just like, what are you going to do? I did see, and I didn't take part in it, but the sand is really like smooth and silky, that people were applying the sand all over their body.
Oh, that makes sense.
I didn't do that just because I know what goes on in those waters. And
That's true.
even though, sure, we don't have sunscreen or bug spray, I'm sure people urinate in that water.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's plenty.
You know,
plenty of urination.
they're serving drinks on the side of this place. You
Drink
can't.
could spill in, you know.
Well, you can't take anything near the water. So if
Oh.
you're drinking, that has to be on the dock, or you have to be sitting in like your little cabana area. Yeah, I mean, this was like us walking up to it.
Oh, wow.
So like, and they had like different areas. So like they had little like swing set areas. But it's almost like
Can you dive off of that top?
no,
thing?
it's not
Oh,
that. It's
okay.
not that deep. But you know, all the couples are out there taking couple
Yeah,
photos.
yeah, exactly.
I'm just like, okay. See, these are little cabanas like you can like be under.
Oh my God.
But once you go a little bit
mean-
farther, you can snorkel. They have fish there.
Oh, do you have to like take lessons for that, or can you just
I'm sure you have to be certified. I don't know if they would just give you the suit and be like, go
have at
for
it?
Yeah,
Well, in Tulum, you never know.
that is true. That is true. So these friends, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the cool crew.
Yeah, the
or
cool
whatever I
crew.
call them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me just preface by saying, like we've talked about before, weed is legal here.
Yeah, of course,
Right.
always. Well, not always, but it will be
Yeah.
hopefully.
So you can smoke and you can have an edible. In Tulum or in Mexico, it is totally against the law to do any of that stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So I already, and this was something my sister had told me before because she was out there, but it's not something I really thought about. And all the friends, it's recreational.
Right.
So
Sure.
I went in Tulum, right? So we're out at this club, right? This beach resort we're at, and the cool crew, they just wanted some marijuana, like
Right.
we were going to the festival that night. Where could we get something?
Yeah, but it's illegal, so
Yeah, so
worries.
I'm not trying to get arrested in another country. Imagine getting arrested in another country.
yeah, I would not like that.
Like, that's like a nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
there'd be no way.
Who knows how long you'd have to be there for, like imprisoned?
Yeah, who knows what happened? Would they even want to release you? We're at this pool party, and they're like, and again, all my good friends, they all speak Spanish, so they're able to communicate with everybody there.
For sure.
So they're asking around, and I'm like, I just don't. I'm gonna be over here. You guys do what you need to do.
I'll just hang out with a cup of water in my hands
Yeah,
and just like looking off in the distance.
My beverage. I'm gonna try to be a good kid.
Yeah.
But they're basically, where can we get this stuff, sort of thing. Okay. They ended up talking to one of our servers. A little bit later, as the drinks are kind of, coming through,
Yeah.
there's a gentleman that comes over, sits in our party.
Okay.
His hand is closed at first. He opens his hand, and let me tell you, every drug like dropped in these little baggies from his hand. And he's like, "What do you guys need?
Oh my God.
I have this, I have that." I'm just like in awe because I'm like, what is going on right now? I was like, okay, well, that's cool.
Cold medicine.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you guys, you get what you get. I got up. I was like, I'm going to use the restroom. I'll come back. Maybe they'll be done doing what they're doing, right?
Right. Out of sight, out of mind.
As I'm going to the restroom, another gentleman, he's like, we're about to cross from each other. And I was, hi. He's like, what do you need? Coca, mota? I'm like, whoa.
Listen here, pal. Just here to use the facilities.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you, though, but I'm good.
I want to hear the actual story of what happened. You just didn't have enough money to buy anything.
Do you take card? Do you have Apple Pay here that I can just really quick transact this?
Right.
So I come back from the bathroom, and, they got whatever they needed. I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. And my friend's like, what's even crazier? And I'm like, what's that? He's like, all these people that we deal with that sell these drugs, they're all part of the cartel. And I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
Like, have you ever watched Narcos?
No.
Such a good show. But they even have one that's like based in Mexico. Cartel, to me, I'm like, yo, we're pretty badass then.
Yeah. The cool crew went up a few notches to the badass bitches or something.
And I'm like, I'm texting, I think, my sister and telling them about that. And she's like, I told you. She's like, you got to be careful who you're talking to. But out there, like, they run those streets. And I was
Right,
like,
yeah.
I thought that was wild.
Yeah.
Like, who?
It's nuts.
The cartel. And I'm just like in amazement because these guys are everywhere and they just look like us. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's the point.
Oh my
That's-
gosh.
That's how they operate.
But I think I was even telling you yesterday, it was like literally almost like I envisioned it more of like a guy in a big raincoat coming up next to us and opening his jacket.
That's exactly, when you were saying this, is exactly how I imagined it in my head. Like, all right, this dude in a big tan raincoat.
And I was like, that's wild. They exchanged numbers because he basically was like, you guys need anything else, just hit me up and let me know and I can be where you need to be.
Right.
That was wild. I'm like,
I agree. That is that's pretty
we're
wild.
living in like Pablo Escobar world right now. So, I felt it like a little bit more important after that, even though I partook in none of that.
Right. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I was like, I know some really cool people. We did things down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went in Tulum.
Exactly.
That is nuts.
But yeah, I mean, so, it helped with the festivities that we partook in the Afterlife Festival, which was great.
You were helping people take drugs. You weren't taking them yourself, but you were like making sure that everybody was taken care of. Were you like the designated driver in a way?
Oh my God, no. And I would never want to drive there.
Yeah.
No. Like here, like I'm looking at our cars, you have to park a certain way, right?
Right.
On one side of the street, on another. Yo, you make your own rules there. You park, if you want to park in the middle of the street, you park in the middle of the street.
Really? You don't need your emergency lights on or
No.
anything? No.
I mean, I'm sure maybe some of them had them, but literally, go whatever speed limit you want. It was
That
wild.
sounds like my kind of place. Even though I couldn't drive that far with my electric vehicle.
I mean, we went home after that. And, I had to cater to my bug bite, which I thought was a malaria bite for
course.
a minute. And they said, hey, guys, get some rest because it's going to be a long night. It was like already 10 o'clock at night. We had to be up in 3 hours because we were going to go to the festival at 2 a.m.
In 3 hours. Oh my God.
But yeah, I hyped myself up. I said, I can do this. I'm not that old,
Right.
Everyone else is doing it, Anna.
You're at
Come on.
least over 20.
Exactly.
For sure.
So, I gathered myself together, got ready, and I said, let's go, guys.
Yeah. Let's have a fun time. Let's make the most out of my week here.
Exactly. And I did just that. The festival venue was great. It's literally like out in the middle of the jungle.
And just to make sure, it's not in a pyramid.
No.
there's no party in the pyramid
No.
like what I thought it was.
But that would have been really cool, though. The festival venue itself is called Zamna.
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry, I might be
looks
saying
cool.
it right. But like, you're walking into this
Whoa.
venue, and it's kind of like,
It's like the Electric Forest out in, well, definitely not like the Electric Forest, but this looks a lot more detailed and a lot more lights. Whoa.
right?
She's showing me pictures right now. That's why I'm saying these reaction stuff like, whoa.
And we'll put these pictures up. I'll make sure everybody gets to enjoy. But like, this is the show that's like going on, and we're at the main stage right now. But yeah, it was really cool.
Oh.
I made it. So it was really cool because then you get to see the sunrise come up
Oh.
as they're still continuing to play. And then I think we left maybe like around 9 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're partying for about 7 hours?
Yeah, my feet hurt.
Of course.
We had to walk to our car afterwards, and as soon as I sat down, I was out.
Right.
I was done.
Just knocked out.
Yeah. And they said, hey, we're
Fall
going to go
asleep quick.
eat. And I was like, that's cool.
You go do that. I'm gonna fall asleep for like half an hour.
I think I grabbed a smoothie just so I had something in me.
Right. Yeah.
And then I went back to the car and I passed out.
Ah.
And there was a few of us that passed out in the car. I went home finally and took a long hot shower, and then I was out until like 5 o'clock, I think.
Okay. So it seems like you're kind of operating on an opposite schedule than what you're used to, because usually you're up in the morning, you do your thing, then you go to bed at night. But this seems like you're up at night doing stuff until way hours of the morning and then having to sleep again
Yeah, for the most part.
for a whole week.
Yeah, it was like that. I mean, which was fine. Again, I was there for a week. I told myself, like they say, when in Rome, right? Soak it up. When are you going to ever do this again? So I did.
I think that's a loose interpretation of the saying, but yeah, that's fine. When in Rome, soak it up. That's what they say. When in Rome, soak it up. Live it up like there's no tomorrow.
I just told myself I didn't want to complain. I wanted to partake in what everybody else partook in.
Right.
Even if I was exhausted, I kept telling myself, and when am I ever going to come back here?
Next time.
Maybe, but I mean, I'm not planning to anytime soon. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. We went for dinner later that night. Had mariscos, ceviche. It was delicious.
Okay. What is that?
Well, essentially, it's just like, what do they have in it? Why am I drawing a blank? It's like shrimp. It's like cooked shrimp, and also it's like raw shrimp, but like the acidity of what they use in it cooks the raw shrimp. There's cucumber in it. There's onion. You did with chip. It's so good.
You lost me an onion, but
Oh, it was so good.
I would pick that out, and that sounds really delicious. I love shrimp.
That's so good.
Mm.
And the whole time I'm thinking we're gonna eat, and then we're probably just gonna call it. You know, everyone's pretty exhausted.
Right.
I said, all right, after we eat, where do you guys want to go? I was like, all right,
What's next?
let's do it. No, I think that was like that for a few days. And then finally, we said, well, let's do something a little bit more touristy, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at.
A squirrel.
Yeah, so we decided that it was time to go and see the pyramids. Did you know actually the pyramid out there, and I should know this, but it's one of, I don't know the name off the top of my head. It's in the Yucatan village. It's
Okay.
it was about 2 hours from where we were at in Chichen Itza. And it's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm trying to think of, okay, the Grand Canyon.
Yes, Grand Canyon. We looked this up. I think Great Wall of China was another one.
Oh, that makes sense.
This pyramid, I don't know. They're obviously.
There's other ones,
Yes,
of course,
exactly.
that we will be emailed about from you listeners.
Yeah,
so.
probably more like scolding. You should know these things.
Right, exactly.
But no, I was really excited, and I didn't understand why my friend kept saying, "Hey, you should watch Apocalypto before you go out there because it's kind of what we're going to be seeing."
Oh,
And I just was like, "Yeah, sure." But then you get out there, man, that thing was a beautiful sight to see.
really?
Which then made me in turn. Last night, actually, I watched Apocalypto,
Oh, okay.
and the
Very
whole time
recent.
I kept telling my sister, like, "Yo, I was there." Like
You lived it.
was there, but just like I mean, pictures can do this thing no justice.
Oh, wow. Look at the. Oh, my God. Oh,
Like up there at the very top is where essentially, like they would sacrifice people and they would cut their heads off and they would let them roll all the way down the pyramid.
whoa. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And they
That's
would
wild.
throw their body down there, and then it would literally just sit there until like somebody else came and like picked it up.
Oh.
When you clap, it hits the top, and it's like an echo that comes back. But it sounds like I forget the name of the bird, but there's a bird out there that sounds like it. So people are literally like clapping, and you can hear the sound of the bird.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have got like an aerial view of it, but I don't know. Just like being there, and then kind of seeing the movie again, which is I'm sure not all truth, but like even reading on it like afterwards, I'm like, oh my gosh.
That was like gorgeous.
Right? I wish you can go in or like touch it, but they have everything like blocked off.
Yeah.
That's another
I need to get out more.
cenote, essentially. And again, they had like, it looked like there was an altar, and essentially they would throw precious stones in this, and they would also sacrifice people.
Oh.
And it's actually, I guess, known that there is, I'm sure they found bones and whatnot.
Seems like they're really keen on sacrificing people.
Yo,
like
but-
we're tired of the pyramids. Can we do it somewhere else? Let's look. How about over here? Yeah, sacrifice them here.
But
Throw them in this pool.
yeah, but it's wild to think. I mean, like they thought they were sacrificing to the gods for whatever reason. So
Oh yeah.
if they got rain or sun or food or whatever the case is, it's all because they were doing these things, right? But no, that was wild. And then watching the movie and then just realizing you're standing at a spot where these Mayans were thousands of years ago.
Yeah, that happened to me once when I was a kid. My dad took me to because he lived in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one time he was driving me to this location. There was this house, and then he said, "Son, this is where they filmed Sweet Home Alabama." And I felt the same exact way. I kid you not. It was like, whoa, this is so cool. Reese Witherspoon was here. They filmed at this house.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like a whole tourist attraction. It was wild. I'm not even making this up. That's what. So my experience is exactly how you felt. 100%.
I mean, I'm over here on the 7th wonder of the world, and you're over here on Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah, that checks.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
What a
why I told you got to
fun
get them out more.
experience.
You got to experience these things.
Yeah, I need to. It's just hard. Listeners, this is something that I'm sharing personally. I don't have money. I don't have a lot of money to be able to go to these places. So, just so you know, for funsies.
Yeah, so what he's saying is when we put up a GoFundMe, if you guys can just drop.
Don't be surprised.
Yeah,
to see one.
so we can send Kanan on a trip. And then he can be sitting here and telling us the adventures that he went on,
Exactly.
right?
But that's what this podcast is also for. Maybe we'll be going on some adventures. I know maybe we shouldn't give anything away. We won't spoil some ideas that we've had
Yeah.
so far. You'll just listen to the podcast and be surprised. Be like, oh, this is where they are?
Yeah.
Well, all right. So your trip to Tulum, you got to see some pretty... anything else before you go into the big stuff?
No, I also thought it was really cool that literally there's pharmacies on every block. I think I shared this with you. That you can buy. I mean, I think here, you have to get a prescription for almost everything, right? Like, I'm talking Xanax, Ritalin,
You didn't mention Viagra as well.
Viagra.
We can't leave
I
that
mean,
one out.
listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I support if you
And
have
who?
to do that. Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
But yeah, I just there was a few of us that became under the weather. Unfortunately, the first couple days that we were out there, I think because of the change of the weather, being out in the jungle, malaria bites creep up on you.
Yeah.
But literally, you just go up to the counter and you tell them what your symptom is, and they'll prescribe you, I guess, what they think it's going to be, and you just pay for it.
Oh.
So, I got some amoxicillin, some penicillin. I was a little nervous because I got a few bottles and I brought them over. And I'm like, what if they check my bag? What are they going to do? Are they going to contain me here?
Right.
No, but everything worked out perfect.
Everything's fine. You got those
Yeah.
meds with you right now. I thought you were going to bring them out to display. Shake them
Oh,
so that
no,
listeners can hear it.
Hey, I got a good deal, too. She gave me 2 for 1.
Well, how much?
everything-
Is everything cheaper there, too?
No, I take that back. I think where you're at, like the resorts and stuff where we're at and the bars that we went to, I think they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Nothing I think has a legitimate price on it. They're gonna try to upsell you on everything, and it's some of the places we went were a little expensive. That's why you go to a taco truck or you go to a little, I don't know, hole in the wall. It's gonna be cheaper, and also sometimes the quality of the food was a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the one thing I would love to do is just eat food. You know what I mean? Like in another country.
Yeah.
It's just like anything's better than here, probably.
No,
Because
yeah.
they pay more attention to detail and they're more like focused on flavor instead of just like what can we get that would make money.
Yeah, and then I think too, like when you think about it, they use a lot of what's natural or what's maybe grown like around them and whatnot. So just fresher. Even when we went to Thailand, I was a little nervous about what the food would taste like. That was like the best food I had. It was seasoned the best.
Oh.
I come here and I'm like, this pad thai is okay, but it was 10 times better in Thailand.
Yeah, you have to like find the right restaurant, which takes
Yeah.
forever. Whereas you go anywhere in Thailand, like yeah,
Oh
it's
God,
perfect.
it's so good. But yeah, the pharmacy life was crazy. Didn't need
The pharmacy life.
Yeah, didn't need a prescription for anything. We were in there a few times getting what we needed. But I also think that's a little helpful for people that are sick and they need something, and then you don't have to go to necessarily. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do.
Right.
But I didn't have to go to urgent care or a doctor. I literally could just be like, I don't know, I'm congested. I can't talk.
I have a mosquito bite the size of a baseball.
Can you fix this? And they're like, I got it. And literally within a few days, you feel much better.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's how medicine's supposed to work.
Yeah.
But it's great to cut out that middleman of having to go to a doctor to get prescribed. You can just
Yeah.
go and be like, hey, here are my symptoms now.
Yes.
You know?
Cool. Let me give you what you need now, and hopefully you can feel better.
Yeah.
But yeah, are you ready for the juicy stuff?
Yeah, we're 40 minutes in on the dot, almost. Well, no, we're a little bit over 40 minutes, almost 41 minutes.
Okay.
Where's the juice?
All right. So I did mention in the beginning, okay, let me actually say this first, okay? I went with a really good friend from back home.
Sure.
There was another really good friend that I know that we essentially grew up together for the most part. And I haven't really talked to him in a long time. But I had heard that he was bringing his girlfriend or his, new girlfriend, whatever. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, sure. It'll be the first time I meet her. Sure, I'm sure it'll be a good time, right? Whatever.
Sure, it's like not that big of a deal. It's like,
Yeah. Cool. I'm excited to see all you guys again. I'm excited to meet the girlfriend. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So we get in the car when they finally picked us up, right? We'll let you know we were there for 4 hours. They finally picked us up. Immediately, the boys were like, oh my God, there was so much drama last night. We're like, what's going on? What's the drama?
Yeah.
As I'm getting newly acquainted to these new individuals that I'm just meeting as well.
Yeah.
Supposedly, and again, this is all new information that I even found out.
Okay.
Well, one, my friend's girlfriend, I guess he met her when he was in Mexico, in Guadalajara, Mexico, okay?
Okay.
Cool, whatever.
Yeah. Meet people anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, he essentially flew there first to get her and then brought her to Tulum.
Okay.
So he flew to Guadalajara, picked her up.
How far away is that?
Maybe like an hour or 2 hours from Tulum.
Okay.
I think maybe. I'm not sure. And I'm under the impression right now, I think he paid for everything. Which again, cool, that's your significant other, right?
Yeah.
You want them to come and enjoy the time with you.
Of course.
So they came together, they all went out the night before we even got there, right? And I've seen on their stories or, they're having a good time. I come to find out, his girlfriend is essentially telling everybody there that she's not his girlfriend. They're just friends. And I was like, that's
kind of weird.
right, that's odd.
Yeah.
We're out here as friends. And she's crushing on somebody else that's in our friend group.
Is it you?
No.
Oh. Okay.
I wasn't there yet.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
But it's one of our other good friend's sons.
Oh.
And basically, she's trying to hook up with him.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure they did hook up. No, I mean, I know for sure they hooked up. I don't know if they hooked up that night, but they hooked up.
Oh, my God.
So he's going through it right now.
This poor guy. He's like, he flies. He flies to get this person, brings them over.
Like,
wow, that's so sad.
It is, and I guess she's crushing on him. He ends up taking her to like a cenote the next day with somebody else, some other guy, another friend of ours, and she's trying to hook up with him. And we're like, wait, who is this girl? Like, where did you find her?
Deal?
I know you're paying for the trip, but are we paying for anything else? Like, we need to get more details on this. The thing is, she doesn't speak any English at all, so I really couldn't have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
But I mean, any one of my friends of this is happening to, like, it's not, I wasn't really happy with it.
Yeah.
And it's also like, what do you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Like,
no clue. It's like she's like bouncing from person to person. It can be a lot for these friends. It can mess up the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess that's what the whole beef was that night, and the groups end up splitting the next day, and that's why some people were out partying here and other people were out partying here. But I mean, she's basically straight up telling us that they're not girlfriend and boyfriend, where they're just friends.
Technically that's true, I guess.
But it's just like, I feel for the guy.
Yeah.
Later that night when I finally saw him, he was drunk out of his mind. But yeah, he was, I can't believe this happened. And I'm like, I don't know, I guess what you guys would do. I don't know what you would do. But everybody was basically like, you need to tell her she can go back home.
Yeah, or make her pay, because did she pay for anything?
She didn't pay for anything this whole trip.
Make her pay for her way back. I mean, it depends on the intentionality of like, did he know that they were just friends? And I don't know. It's a contextual thing. It's like, well, is she using him just to like get a trip, or is it like, is he offering to pay? I don't know.
Yeah. And we've asked, and I don't know if I'll ever know what the truth of the whole thing was. And it is what it is at the end of the day, but I just thought that was a really tough situation for him to be in that entire time.
That's hard. Yeah, because think about it too. I don't think I would ever, unless it was just like a you'll pay me back situation, I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't pay to fly a friend to hang out with me or to like, you know what I mean? Like if I was interested in somebody, I wouldn't, like if they were allegedly my girlfriend, that's just weird. I wouldn't pay to someone I was just friends with, even though it's kind of weird. Why is he saying that she's his girlfriend, but she's saying that she's not? That's
a great question.
Oh,
and I mean,
but did he say that they were boyfriend,
apparently
girlfriend?
they were all in a group chat, and I opted to not be in this group chat just because it's just the guys cool and it's pure chaos in there.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what he had told people, and maybe he was under that impression, but she essentially
clearly wasn't.
Yeah. No.
But then it's one thing to be like, oh, thank you for flying me out here. Let's have some fun. But no, I'm just going to hook up with some of your friends.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
kind of heartbreaking.
Poor
lad. She
has a few kids, and I also think she's a working girl. So I think, when we were out there, she was on her phone a lot. And I had asked them, like, yeah, she's on her phone a lot. She's not really invested in the group. And, they're like, yeah, she's talking to a few other guys. I'm like, oh, my goodness.
Hey, I guess business is business.
I guess so, but I'm just like, this poor guy, and this whole
She
time,
needs to learn the difference between business and leisure, just like, separate the two. But that's hard for some people.
yeah. And I mean, we were kind of, I think one of the nights we were out there, he kind of wandered off to the beach by himself and just like sat there, and it's just like, we're all drunk and out of our minds, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, he's not really having a good time anymore, but also just trying to fight through it and just enjoy the rest of the time he has here.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the thing that he has to learn is that, like, people, especially if someone you're interested in, it's not transactional, which it seems like that's what he's been, like, is it hoping that, like, if he maybe spends the money and, like, shows that he cares, that's not always good. That's not how you should be doing it for sure, because, one, you're out of money, and then two, they might, break your heart and sleep with some friends.
yeah, I mean, that's the part, yeah. So, of course, we're like, oh, my God, how's this week going to go? I mean, we got through it. I mean...
Oh, she was there the whole time?
Yeah, well, they left a few days. I mean, like I said, we were there from Friday to Friday. They ended up leaving together when we all urged him to just go home or stay with us and she could go home. He ended up going back out there with, I think on Monday? No, Sunday after the festival. And he stayed an extra day with her because it was one of her son's birthday, and he ended up getting her a PS5.
PS5? Oh, my God.
And the whole time the guys are urging him to just return
Cut
it.
her loose. Yeah, cut her
come
loose. Like, it's clearly not reciprocal. Or maybe it is, and I just don't see it because I'm not there, but oof.
Yeah, I mean, and for all you guys out there, I mean, what would you have done?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't imagine anybody say, I'm sure this could actually go a lot of different ways and it'd be a lot worse.
With the limited amount of information that we have about it, yeah, it could go a lot of different ways. Brendan, I want to hear what you think about it. Specifically, Brendan, and maybe the person that this has happened to, send us an email and let us know what you think about it.
Yeah, I did purposely. I mean, all the guys are excited we're going to be talking about this. So I'm sure maybe they may have questions or want to talk about some things afterwards. But yeah, I did ask permission to see if I could talk about this because it could be a very sensitive subject. And
yeah, did you ask her as well?
I absolutely don't care what she says.
She's not going to listen to this podcast?
She can't listen to it anyway, so no. Yeah, so that was kind of the pieces of that.
That poor guy.
And then the other interesting thing is, man, you guys, sometimes I just don't understand. The first night we had went out, I noticed one of the fellas from our group wasn't there anymore. I didn't really think anything of it. It was after hours. We were, I think, grabbing food to go back to our Airbnb to kind of just hang out.
Well, he was with you earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he wasn't there, and we ended up going back to our Airbnb. And then a few hours later, he shows up. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And they were just like, he met a working girl out there.
Yeah.
And, but he came back, and I'm telling you, he drank a whole bottle of Smirnoff by himself. And I'm just like, what is wrong? And he's like, I regret everything I just did. I'm like, what? Like, I've never seen somebody, like, just his face, like, of regret.
Yeah.
He's washing his hands in the sink.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, what? Why did you? He's like, I don't know. So-and-so sent me a link for a good time, and I thought, why not?
Yeah, why not?
And he's like...
That's the motto I'm trying to live by this year. Why not?
I'm like, okay, like, well, we're like, how was it? Like, give us the details. And he didn't really want to tell us anything.
Oh.
He's like, I was really nervous. I was uncomfortable. It didn't feel right. They're like, we thought you were going to stay the night. He's like, no, I had to get out of there as soon as everything was done.
Oh, my God.
I'm just like... Come to find out and having the conversation with him that night, he does have a girlfriend. Like,
oh, no.
I'm like,
and she wasn't there?
No.
She wasn't on the trip?
She wasn't on the trip.
Bro, the guilt is what got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, after. The after
I'm
guilt.
like, why would you? He's like, we were just having problems, and I was in the right mind, and now I just wish I never did it. And I was just
Of course, after.
And I'm just watching him, and I'm talking a full bottle of Smirnoff. Just he would pour a shot, take the shot, pour a shot. He was done within the first, like, maybe 20 minutes.
Wow.
He couldn't articulate a sentence. Like, it went from telling a story, and he was, like, slurring. They basically had to put him down on the couch and take off his shoes. And Yeah. Didn't really want to talk about it the rest of the trip.
These poor lads, they're just getting into trouble.
But I don't think they were just like, yeah, do you want to do anything like that while you're out here? And I said, listen.
I want to enjoy my trip, but also I want to remember my trip.
Yeah, that and, listen, working girl, working guy, you do you. I'm not going to yuck your yum.
Yeah,
If that's the life you live and you enjoy it, you do that.
absolutely.
But also we're in a different country, and I was really concerned for him afterwards if I didn't want something to, come up in that area where he might need to go to the pharmacy.
Right. Yeah. Is he also from Tulum or no? Was he?
No, none of these. All these people that I met were from Arizona, my hometown, Arizona.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Gotcha.
But yeah, I just, and hopefully in the next weeks we don't have to hear anything that came up
Right.
with him at all. But he said he was safe, and that's all that matters. And
And then maybe you need to have a chat with your girlfriend.
I don't know if that would ever be brought up.
No, probably not.
Yeah, but I mean,
But should.
like they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's literally where my mind went earlier in this podcast when we were recording. In my mind, I was like, what happens in Tulum stays in Tulum. That's,
yeah, really.
I don't remember what
And
it
I
was.
was just there witnessing all this chaos. Relationships fall apart. No relationships came together. No, I take that back. There was a couple there, and they were good the whole time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nothing too bad.
Would you ever partake in that?
Why not? Yeah, why not? I think it depends. I think it would have to depend on where. Like, I don't really know. I'll just say why not.
Okay.
I mean, what about you? Let's say that you were there for a week and not necessarily partying as much.
Yeah.
But maybe just were like getting immersed in the culture a little bit, just having fun with friends, and maybe
Yeah.
the opportunity came up.
No, because the opportunity, I feel if it did come up, no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, what if you were like in France?
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it depends on where I am. It depends on like what my mental state is, and depending on like if I, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And until that time happens, I guess. But otherwise, I appreciated being on the outside,
Yeah.
observing.
Not
and-
having to be involved in. I would say if I'm traveling with a bunch of people, no. Like I don't want to have to put a burden on anybody else when I'm trying to. If it's for travel and it's like a week long, I'm not gonna have to have them worry about me or like be like, oh, where's, and then me having to like recover in that way, and I would feel too bad.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's brave of you. He's like, yeah, I just called a cab and tell them to drop me off. I'm like, wow. Yeah, so that kind of was what I did.
Yeah. Was there anything else that
I'm sure
in
that
the notes?
no, I think those are the big things.
Oh yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
that happened the first few days in. So I'm like, how am I going to get through the rest of this trip?
And then you did.
And then I did. I mean, I would tell people, I would encourage them if they haven't been out there. It's beautiful. I don't know if I needed to be out there for a week. I was ready to come home that final day.
Makes sense.
I just missed my dogs. I missed being home. I didn't want to be in the humidity anymore. It was hot. I told you I lost my voice a whole day.
Oh yeah.
I could barely even talk. Yeah, not too excited to go back to work, but work is around the corner.
That it is. When's your first day back?
On Monday.
Okay, so that's tomorrow for all those listening.
Ugh.
So feel free to send some condolences for Anna having to go back to work tomorrow. Send it to our email at thesippintruth@gmail.com.
Yeah, or if anybody just has any more questions they want to know about or ask, again, submit them to our email. We would love to answer them. I was even told by, the cool crew that came out if they needed us to have them dial in for any questions.
Ooh, yeah. We could do like a live call situation.
Yeah, they would be more than willing to talk about it, kind of relive what went on. But yeah, that was my time away. How
Yeah.
was your time while I was away?
So airport, I drove you there. I had lost my voice that morning, and I was barely able to talk to you. Then when I got home, I tested. I got COVID. So
Well, that sucks.
yeah. So that's our podcast this week, everybody. Thank you for listening in. We're almost at a full hour.
Oh,
We're
wow.
at 58 minutes. With a little bit of trimming, of course. I got to trim it, because there's a lot of dead space, and Brendan gave some really good advice, so thank you, Brendan. And then we need an intro, outro, so it'll probably be about an hour. Yeah. Anything you want to let the people know?
No. Went in Tulum.
Stay in Tulum.
Stay in Tulum.
That's not how it goes. What happens in Tulum stays in Tulum.
No,
You
yeah.
said when in Tulum, stay in Tulum. Yeah, cool crew. Thank you for listening as well, and all of you wonderful people who are listening to this for a full hour. Can't wait to hear back from you, and if there's any questions you want us to answer on the air, we can do that. And have a great week, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Well, look at that. Another podcast in the books.
If you like what you listen to, give us a good rating on the Apple Podcasts. I don't know if you can actually do that or not, but why not? Give it a go. Try it out. The photos and videos mentioned will be uploaded to our Instagram same day, so be on the lookout for that. Catch you on the next one, people.